Boys, we're trying to figure out if we can get a last NA burnout in on the S550 before we put this ESS on, but we gotta ask the neighborhood because we're in a neighborhood. Also, America. All these kids have managed to blackmail Christian and get permission to do a burnout in the middle of the street. So rip his tires, his bags, and everything if this goes wrong, and installing an ESS kit. Bro, this dude's gonna send it. He's gonna cook it. Brother, Oh, bro, melted through the pavement.
Well, boys, that day has finally come. We're putting an ESS kit on my Mustang. We are done being slow and stock and boring. It's that day, boys.
It's time to go boost, baby.
So let's get right into the video.
Boys, it is quite literally 2 degrees hotter than the devil's nutsack in North Carolina right now. And I am currently sweating. I drove my square body with no heat and AC all the way here, 2.5 hours. So you better like and subscribe.
Please.
Alrighty, boys, I'm gonna take you along with me. Christian did a video not that long ago going over trading his twin turbos for the ESS. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and click it. There will be a link down in the description. But as he gets ready to turn around his car that we just did fat burnouts with for the last rip NA, we are going to be taking out this ESS kit and getting ready to put it on the car. So I guess we're gonna get it flipped around and then we'll get right into the install. You can have these if you stop being broke and put headers on your car.
Hey, yo, hey, yo.
Alrighty, boys, the first step, as I can dang near push this car back, is to take the front bumper off and take the battery off, battery out, thingy, my bobber. Don't spark things when you're working on your car, so unconnect your battery. Step 1, remove this panel right here so we can remove this front bumper. And while I do that, Christiane is going to take this intake box off. We're going to test his mechanic skills. Low-key getting the front bumper off an S550 sucks.
Damn.
The whole undershield thing is balls. Bro, I told you, your front tires are about cooked, all that camber wear.
Damn.
Like, that's not going to make it a Mustang week.
Damn.
Also, little known fact, mechanics yearn for the floor. It's very cool, calming, and our back decompresses. So I'm going to go back to laying on the floor.
That's what that wet spot is.
Alrighty, boys, front bumper is off. I definitely didn't break half the clips on one of the sides. How you feeling, Christian?
Bro, I added to the list of things I got to get, but ain't no big deal. It happens. It happens.
He's going to wrap my car. Alrighty, boys, so now we got Christian. He's back here taking the fuel rail and everything off to go and put injectors. We got FIC 1000s going in this thing because we're about to make about 700 wheel freaking horsepower, baby. Hey. So he's getting injectors slapped in right now. All you gotta do is take rails off for that. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and organize all the parts, probably get to installing head unit stuff very, very shortly. Or maybe, I think I'm gonna mock up the intercooler. I wanna see what it looks like, no front bumper and intercooler first. How you feeling over there, Christian?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're all straight. I'm
bent over like Brandon?
Bent over like
Brandon?
Bent over like Brandon.
So when installing the intercooler, you're gonna have a blow-off valve, and he opted for the Tile Big Baller Bougie Money blow-off valve. So putting this together is gonna be a little interesting, but not too bad. So we have the blow-off valve here. This is gonna mount directly to the intercooler, and there is an O-ring that is gonna actually end up sitting inside of this little gap here in this groove. And there's gonna be like a V-band clamp that clamps this onto the intercooler. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all that installed. I'll show you right fast how it goes together. All right, so this is the clamp I was talking about. It comes in the box with the blow-off valve. Pretty easy to install. You just kind of unthread it quite a lot. And then, like I said, make sure to verify your O-rings either sitting on this ledge here like this or on the inside of the blow-off valve. And then it's just gonna sit like that. Crush that O-ring down, and then you're gonna be able to unthread this and slip it over. See if I can do this one-handed here for the YouTubes. You're gonna wanna take it kind of off. Normally kind of put it on first. All right, boys, that was the easiest way. Clamped it on back here first, slowed it all the way down, O-ring on, blow-off valve on, clamped it back over everything. Had to give it a little pull. Hopefully that won't hurt anything too bad, but it shouldn't. So now I can just thread the bolt rod things in here and stick the bolt back in. The last part for the blow-off valve is this little barb fitting. It's way easier to install. It's just some crush washers, like if you're doing a banjo line, for like a brake bolt. So you do one crush washer on one side, stick it through there, crush washer on the other side, and then it's gonna go right here into the end of the blow-off valve, like so. Then you can just thread it down. And I'm not gonna tighten this down until we have the intercooler mounted and the vacuum lines ran. That way we can know which way to orient it. So I'm just gonna leave it kind of loose like that. Got this all tightened up, so this should be good to put the brackets on and go ahead and start mounting it in the car. While I've been doing all of the intercooler stuff, Christian has gotten the entire fuel rail taken off of this car. Includes unplugging the injectors, 4 10mm bolts that hold on some little plastic trays. I don't know where he put them at. And then 4 10mm bolts that hold on the rails. All the old injectors are out, and then he's got the FIC 1000s installed into the fuel rail. And Christian is now seeing why these cost like $1,000. Yes. But yeah, fuel injectors are big. Don't cheap out on your fuel injectors. Please FICs, don't. DWs, IDs, just get good fuel injectors. It will save you the headache of blowing your motor up. So get good injectors, follow what your tuner says, and yeah, now he's just got to throw that back in there. All right, so Christian got all the fuel rails dialed in there. Now he's gonna install the booster pump, which is underneath the back of the back seat. So coming along here inside of the car, pretty easy to do. You just kind of move everything out of the way. And then there's gonna be some little tabs underneath the back seat here. It's gonna be kind of hard for you to see into the vehicle here, but there is little tabs. You can feel them with your hands, and you can kind of press in. You'll press in, and the back seat will come up. It's kind of hard to get to, but you're gonna have to stick your hand down in there kind of like that. These are the little tabs I'm talking about. You just press them in. You just got to stick your hand down in there, press in like that. And then you can pop the front end out and just slide the back end out. That gives you access to your fuel pump driver module that is located behind the driver's seat over here in this corner. You're just going to unplug that, and then the booster pump will go in there. Pretty simple setup. You got a plug and play adapter. So like I said, you unplug it there. This will clip into there, and then it'll clip into the actual booster pump. And this one looks fancy. It has a mounting bracket or anything like that. So I'll let you figure that out, bud.
Yeah, I'll be all right.
So Christian has never actually worked on a car before. So if he can put this booster pump in, so can you. So it's really not that hard. It's plug and play. It's the JMS. You can do JMS, VMP. Either of those two really work very well. Just make sure to let your tuner know which one you have. But yeah, pretty much a plug and play setup. Really not that hard.
Well, boys, it is the next day, and it's a beautiful day. It is July 4th. And we're doing American stuff. Isn't that right?
Yeah, buddy. Alrighty, boys. So last night we got the ESS sticker installed. You're official. Which means the blower is installed. Just kidding. So I got everything torn apart in the front side for the cooling system. You got to take the factory thermostat body thing off. Come here. I'll show you. So we took the factory one off. It's just kind of hanging right here. Put the ESS 90 degree on, and then this ESS tube silicone piping makes room for the intercooler piping. Comes from the bottom side of your cooling reservoir, comes down and then goes into this kind of heater reservoir thing above the water pump. And then we pulled the front crash bar off. It is just 413mm. Your wiring harness pops down, just a trim tool, and you can pull that down. And we're getting ready to mount the intercooler that just has these brackets and Allen key bolts. They just go into each side, and then we'll use the factory 13s and mount it up there, and then zip tie the wiring up out of the way. And that should be most of the cooling system. I just got to hook that radiator hose up, and then mounting the intercooler, and then we should be good to go ahead and start actually mounting the head unit, which is the fun part.
Cue the time lapse.
Alrighty, so we got everything taken off down here for the lower side. I just want to show you. Rip me, brother. So we have these medium length Allen key bolts. They are a 6mm hex bolt, and they're going to go into the front cover. So you're going to take off the 13 here that is studded that holds the wiring harness, and then the one directly above the alternator there. And then this bracket will actually go down in here. It says Coyote base on it, and it'll go in like this, and then you can just thread your bolts in like that. And that will be your base back bracket for the ESS install piece. So it just bolts in like that. Then there is this stud that goes here that is threaded. That threads down onto the alternator there. Tighten that thing up. And then, yeah, you should be looking pretty good after that. Alrighty boys, so I just got the ESS bracket installed. Let me run you through it right fast. So starting off, you have this wonderful bracket here. At the top, you're gonna wanna remove this thermostat housing bolt, the upper one here. There's gonna be a long bolt, the washer, it goes through there, and then there's gonna be this spacer. You can see the beveled edge. It goes towards the throttle body, or towards the thermostat. That's how that one goes. On the bottom side, there is another bolt. There's these big Allen key bolts. They go through this way. And this one threads into that stud we just put on the alternator, and then there's going to be another spacer in your package that goes at the back side here that you thread one bolt through this way and then another bolt through right down there, and that's how it clamps this bracket in. Now, I don't actually know if this is the correct way, but there was a stud on our bracket. I just hung the old stud that used to hold off the alternator, or the timing cover there. I just held it right there, and it seems to be working. Keeps the wiring out of the way of the pulleys, which is a good sign there. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything wrapped up. We did get the charge piping through on this side of the intercooler, just running it through there. You got to take the shields out on both sides there, the little air ducts. Then you can put the charge piping in there, and I got it ran there. Christian got the MAF swapped over from the old unit to the new tube here. You're going to want to make sure when you do this that you're going to have it to where this part here, you can see kind of collects, is going to go towards the passenger side this way because the air is going to flow through it that way. So make sure the pocket is opposite of the throttle body so it gets airflow that way. And then now we'll be getting this head unit on. Alrighty guys, so I got the head unit on, the belts ran, everything, and honestly this kit is so freaking nice and easy to use. So we got the belt on. I ended up going through the top side, wrapping it around the way that ESS says. Not too hard to run. So we got it ran. I got it just sitting over here to this side, and then I got the head unit put on and then the charge piping. I just sat the head unit into the charge piping there, put the head unit on. There's some hex bolts. There's 3 on this side, 1 over here. Tightened it up, got it all flush. Everything's looking good. Mounted very, very firmly. So now I'm putting the blower pulley on. There is a keyway on the back side here. We're going with the 120 on this car. There's a keyway. Line that up with the pulley and then the actual snout on the ESS unit, and then it'll make it lock together. And then there's going to be a bolt and a washer that goes together over here. So we have bolt and then a washer, and if you look at the back side, you'll see that it's machined out so this washer will fit, and then that's just going to go in there with some Loctite. Then we're going to torque this thing down.
This stuff is gold.
Just stick that thing right down in there and just slowly